Yo, what's going on my fellow monkeys? Welcome back to the channel, and for anyone that is new here, my name is Gunnup Monkey, and today we're taking an in-depth look at the outlaws, or characters if you prefer, in Hood, Outlaws and Legends. If this is your first time even hearing about the game, then please make sure to check out my video that should be popped up in the top right corner that will tell you everything you need to know from the actual game itself all the way to the post-launch support. As for the rest of us, let's get right into looking at the outlaws. First up we have the Ranger, also known as Robin. Every outlaw is given a difficulty rating out of 3 stars and Robin is given 2. This character is a spin-off of Robin Hood, who specialises in taking enemies out from a distance, preferably before anyone even knows he's there. Mastering the bow is key to performing well with this outlaw. His weapon is the longbow, which can be charged for strong hits, or you can use it as quick shots for close range burst of fire. Arrows can also be used as a melee weapon. The bow can also be used to shoot down climbing ropes, which allows for a more stealthy approach into the stronghold. As mentioned in my previous video, each character has their own trait, gear ability, and ultimate. Each character has a defense style when it comes to countering incoming attacks. So far there are 2 methods, one being evade and the other one being block. Robin is able to evade, which allows him to jump out of the way. As mentioned in my previous video, each character has a trait, gear ability and ultimate. Now Robin's trait is Scout, which allows him to tag targets. His gear ability is similar to a flash grenade, allowing for quick escapes, or it can even be used to get a quick kill while the enemy is dazed. Timing this with a teammate can be perfect for taking out multiple enemies at once. And his ultimate is Farsight, an incendiary arrow that can stick to enemies and surfaces and deals damage in a wide area. Each character also has a variety of perks which can allow them to be dramatically changed or to simply just improve their current style. Some of Robin's perks include things such as Scavenger, which allows you to receive more ammo upon assassinations of guards and players. A challenge with the bow for some people is that an arrow takes longer than a bullet to travel a large distance, which therefore meaning if you shoot at an enemy on the run, you can find yourself having to aim slightly in front of them. If this is something you struggle with, then this is the perk for you, which is Bodkin Point, allowing for charged arrows to shoot faster and further. However, the downfall is that they break upon impact. Now moving on to the next outlaw, we have the Hunter, also known as Marianne. She has a 2-star difficulty rating. She is an assassin class and her weapon is an arm modified crossbow, which can load up to 3 bolts at once, which can be fired as a deadly burst, perfect for close to mid range. It can also use single shot, which is extremely useful for long range combat. Just like Robin, Marianne uses evade. Her trait is called Shadow, which gives her the ability to assassinate guards from any direction, which allows for unique angles that other outlaws don't have access to. Her gear ability is Smoke, which is effective for obscuring sightlines and prevent enemies from tagging you. You can use this to cover your approach or to make a safe escape. Another great use would be to obscure the enemy's view on mission critical objectives. Her ultimate is Shroud, which allows you to gain invisibility on AI enemies and become nearly completely invisible to other players. Luckily, we were able to get a bigger look at some of Marianne's perks, which include things such as Survivalist, which gives her more health and allows her evading to cover a larger distance, and grants Invincibility, which is also active while sliding. However, the downfall is evading costs more stamina. Stamina is crucial in Hood, Outlaws and Legends as it allows for full strength melee hits, blocks, and without stamina your attacks will be weakened and slowed, as well as you won't be able to block or evade. With the next perk, Veiled Menace, you gain increased ranged damage whilst crouching in a bush, and the ability meter cooldown is faster. Phantom Stalker is another perk which will make you even harder to detect whilst using Shroud and increases the speed of movement when crouched. Another perk allows you to stay in the Shroud ability longer by performing assassinations. Moving on to our melee fighters, first up we have Brawler, also known as John, who has a 1-star difficulty, making him the easiest outlaw to master at release. He is the master of melee. His weapon is a sledgehammer, which has a wide sweeping attack that can strike multiple enemies, or you can do overhead swings for more precise and powerful blows, which can also kill weaker armoured guards in one hit. His trait is called Resolute, which is where he is able to raise the Colossus gates when the areas have gone into lockdown. So yes, if you manage to go undetected, then this will have no use. However, you're almost guaranteed to go into lockdown unless you have an elite team of stealth players. When lockdown happens, the area has multiple Colossus gates lowered down to block off exits, so this ability is vital for making your escape more unpredictable to the enemy team. It's important to note that the gate will only be raised as long as the brawler is holding it. This can be deadly to teammates if the timing is off, but can be a great way to block off guards and enemy players who are in hot pursuit. His gear ability is a grenade, simple but effective. It's great for area of effect destruction, taking out a group of elite knights or downing the sheriff. His ultimate is Wrath, which allows him to enhance offense and defense, increasing his durability, and he has unlimited stamina. The only way to take down the brawler quickly is with an explosive arrow or a well-aimed arrow right between the eyes. While that's a difficult hit to make, it's not impossible, so make sure to keep an eye out for the ranger because he will be your biggest weakness. Unfortunately, like Robin, we didn't get to see many of the brawler's perks, but starting one off, there is one that allows him to walk faster while carrying the chest. Another one is called Sticky Explosive, which of course is quite self-explanatory. It allows his grenade to be thrown further though, and it of course sticks to targets and surfaces. You can even increase his Wrath ability, but at the cost of its duration with another perk. As the saying goes, last but not least, but unfortunately for this character, he's been last on my list twice, even though he'll probably be my second character to actually play, and that is Mystic, also known as Took. He has a 3-star difficulty, making him the most difficult outlaw to master at release. The Mystic is a support class, helping his teammates whether it's through healing, crowd control, or tactical insight. His melee weapon is a flail. With a long range, it can be swung around to hit multiple enemies at once, or he can launch it forward for a powerful strike, which will then stun the enemy. His trait is Aspire, which gives him increased stamina regen, making him deadly in close range combat. His gear ability is Poison, which obscures vision and saps stamina from enemies within its range. This will allow you to flush out enemies from a strong defensive position or to weaken them before breaching a room. His ultimate is Instinct, and by channeling his spiritual connection to the world, it allows him to highlight enemies through walls and objects for a short period of time, as well as healing himself and all nearby allies. This can be perfect for engaging in a building with multiple corners and unpredictable enemy positions, or to refresh your allies before a big fight. Thankfully, this is another character that luckily we get to see quite a few different perks for, including one that is quite game changing on his play style. Some of the Mystic's perks include Deep Rooted, which allows his ability to spot enemies from further away, as well as making it last longer. Innate Insight is a perk which fully fills Mystic's ability meter upon the start of a game, and whilst active, reveals enemies who are crouched. He has another perk called Roaming Monk, which increases your movement speed whilst crouching and sprinting, and this also affects all allies whilst they are in close proximity of you. Another perk, quite possibly the best of them all, allows Took to change his gear ability completely. Instead of having a gas grenade, you can convert it into health, which is area of effect, so basically throw it at your teammate or at your teammate's feet, and by standing in that particular area, they will get healed over time. Well, that's everything for the characters we'll be seeing at release, but there will be another character coming in at Season 1, so stay tuned for that one because we will definitely be taking a good look into that once we get more information. Don't forget, you're not limited to one character per team. If somebody's already taken Ranger and you want to use him as well, you can, and same for any other character. Now for a little bit of sneaky information. Consoles actually get the game before PC, and I'm from Australia. We actually get the game before pretty much most other places in the world, so I'm going to try and have a video up pretty quickly after the release, so make sure to stay tuned for that. But if you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a like down below because it really does help me. But with that being said, that's the end of this video, so thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one.